So you're thinking about moving to Nampa, Idaho, but what is Nampa actually like? Is it safe? What areas should you avoid? How's the traffic? What's there to do in Nampa? Let's find out. Before we get started, I'm Isaac Crace, but more than that, I'm a third-generation realtor. I was born and raised here in the Nampa, Idaho area, and my family has called Nampa home for close to 100 years. So if you are one of the many who's looking to make the move to the Nampa, Idaho area, hit me up and I would love to help you out. There is so much information in this video, and be sure to stick around to the end because I've got a little treat for you. I interviewed over 100 Nampa locals to ask what their pros and cons about living in Nampa are. So stick around to the end because that's going to be neat. Nampa sits on the west side of the Treasure Valley, about 20 minutes from Boise. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to categorize Nampa up into a bunch of different locations, but I'm going to talk about the top three, starting with North Nampa. North Nampa is going to be the area north of the freeway all the way over to McDermott Road. The next area is going to be the Nampa North End, which is the area north of the railroad tracks but south of the freeway. The next location is going to be downtown or historic Nampa. That's going to be south of the railroad, and we have the train depot. This is where historic downtown Nampa is. There's shops, eateries, first streets, there's farmers markets, that kind of stuff. And then there's a bunch of historic cottages and bungalows around that area built in the early 30s, 40s, 50s. The next area is going to be South Nampa. And last but not least, West Nampa. North Nampa is going to be the most desired area of Nampa. As far as housing goes, you're going to see a mix of homes built in the 70s, 90s, 2000s, as well as newer neighborhoods and homes on acreage. Just like many other areas in the valley, all the vast fields in North Nampa are quickly turning into subdivisions for new construction homes. The main builders in North Nampa are going to be Hubble Homes with their Franklin Village, Corey Barton or CBH, which has multiple developments in North Nampa like Meriwether Park, and Toll Brothers with their Fairhaven establishment. But of course, there are many custom builders that build gorgeous homes in North Nampa. North Nampa is going to be the most expensive part of Nampa. If you're looking at homes between North Nampa, South Nampa, and West Nampa, the same home is going to consistently cost you less in South Nampa and West Nampa, with the median asking price in North Nampa being $525,000 at the time of making this video. All right, let's talk about the cons of living in North Nampa. The biggest con of living in North Nampa is all of the factories. Most of the industrial activity that happens in Nampa happens north of the freeway, which falls into the North Nampa area. In fact, we just had an Amazon distribution facility move in just off the Garrity exit in North Nampa. Now, there's nothing really inherently bad about these factories other than they are just unsightly. Some people do complain of a smell in Nampa, and that can be attributed to the amalgamated sugar factory, but it's not a bad smell at all if there even is a smell. So why is North Nampa the most desired area of Nampa? You've got great freeway access in the area. You've got access to all the interchanges on I-84, plus you've got Highway 2026 to the north. And if you're looking to go to Meridian or Boise, North Nampa has the best access to get there. If you're in North Nampa, you can get to Meridian within about 10 minutes. For a little look into the future, Highway 16 or McDermott Road is actually going to be connecting into I-84, so that's going to open up a great opportunity for traffic to help alleviate some of the pains. There's amazing opportunity for entertainment in North Nampa with the Idaho Center located just off the Garrity exit. The Idaho Center is the main event center in all of the Treasure Valley. It's a huge indoor arena, and we have stuff like rodeos, concerts, Monster Jam, gun shows, sporting events, so much year-round, and like I said, it is the main event center for the whole Treasure Valley. And the majority of the shopping in Nampa is going to be in North Nampa with stores like Costco, Sportsman's, Burlington, Walmart, Albertsons. Just about anything you want, we've got it here in the North Nampa area. Moving on to South Nampa. South Nampa is very similar to North Nampa in the aspect of the types of homes available built in the 70s, 90s, 2000s, and then the current day. You can find a large amount of acreage properties in South Nampa, and the further out you go, the slower pace of life it gets. One of the positives of being in South Nampa is it's a really slower pace of life, which makes it a great place to raise a family. In fact, I was born and raised in South Nampa. Just like in North Nampa, you've got the main builders like Hubble Homes, Corey Barton, Hayden Homes, Toll Brothers, plus a large variety of custom builders in the area. The current median asking price for a home in South Nampa is right around the $515,000 mark. One of the biggest drawbacks of living in South Nampa, coming from personal experience and myself, aside from Albertsons, Walmart, gas stations, Walgreens, maybe some food chains like KFC or Panda Express, there's not a whole lot of shopping in South Nampa, and it all revolves around that 12th Avenue area right up the middle. So if you're wanting to go to like a Texas Roadhouse or an Applebee's, or maybe go to Costco or Target or something like that, you're going to have to go to a different part of Nampa to do that shopping. One of the biggest drawbacks for many people living in South Nampa is the commute. For instance, depending on where you are in South Nampa, it can take you 10 to 15 minutes just to get to the freeway, and that's just to get to the freeway. Now, if you got to go to work in Meridian or Boise, add another 20, 30, 45 minutes depending on where you're going. So at 10 to 15 minutes does add up. Now, living in South Nampa does have its advantages for many people, like the slower pace, less people out there, or if you like to go to the lake, go boating, that kind of stuff, South Nampa is super close to the lake. Plus, if you want to go take your boat out to the river, the Snake River that is, you can go out there super quick, or go out to the Owyhees, Silver City, go south of town, do all that outdoorsy stuff. So if that's your kind of thing, living in South Nampa might not be that bad of an idea. West Nampa is very similar to South Nampa and North Nampa in the aspect of the biggest builders in the area, like Hubble Homes, CBH, Hayden Homes, Toll Brothers, along with other custom builders. But West Nampa does have something that the rest of the area does not have. Homes around Lake Lowell, like Summit Ridge, Sienna Hills, Red Hawk, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous developments that look over the whole valley as well as the lake. You got golf courses. It's absolutely stunning. So that is one thing that West Nampa has over the rest of the areas. A huge plus for living in West Nampa is going to be the shopping and entertainment. You've got Karcher Road and the Caldwell Boulevard, where all the businesses are around. You've got Texas Roadhouse, Outback, Applebee's, Wingers, all that kind of stuff, plus all the stores. You've got the Karcher Mall, you've got Costco in that area, you've got Winco, Lowe's, all that kind of stuff. Now, the biggest drawback for living in West Nampa is the traffic, specifically around the Karcher interchange for the freeway. Now, it is the biggest interchange in Nampa aside from the Garrity exit, but the biggest issue with the Karcher exit is how many people are trying to get through there during rush hour. Not only does the Karcher interchange supply people to get onto the freeway from Nampa, but also people from Caldwell use that as well. So already you have two cities trying to get onto the Karcher interchange. Plus, with all the stores, buildings around there, you have people that want to come dine and do shopping, and that adds to the headache. So around rush hour, it does get pretty crazy over there regarding traffic. Finally, for the pros and cons of living in Nampa. So I did an online interview and interviewed over 100 people of what their pros and cons were of living in the Nampa, Idaho area, and I compiled all the top 5 pros and cons into a list. So starting with the cons, here are the top 5 cons of living in Nampa. Lack of city planning, traffic, nightlife, too much growth, and kindness leaving. So all these are going to kind of revolve around the growth of Nampa. So Nampa was a small farming community for the most part. So most of the lanes in Nampa are going to be 2-lane roads. Now with all the growth and the influx of people moving in here and the infrastructure, it's not really designed to handle this many people, which causes all sorts of traffic issues. Finishing off the video with the pros of living in Nampa, Idaho. This one was a hard one to put all the pros into a top 5 because simply there's so many pros of living in Nampa, Idaho. So without further ado, these are the top 5 pros of living in Nampa. Less people. It's more affordable than Meridian, Boise, Eagle, or any of Ada County. We have Lake Lowell, the Idaho Center, and here's a big one for many people. We never had mask mandates throughout the entire COVID. I hope you found this video helpful. If I left something out or if you have an opinion on it, do me a favor, leave it in the comments below. Until next week's video, I'm Isaac Crace with Top Idaho Real Estate, your 3rd generation Idaho Realtor.